I'd like to dissect some of these oscillator controls for you. So before we even get into modifying or filtering, let's just look at the basic building blocks of your sound. I've got Oscillator 1 enabled right now, and it's turned up a little bit in the mixer. And with Oscillator 1, I have a couple of choices. I can pick what octave to hear it in. The octaves are represented in foot measurements from back in the old pipe organ days. So right now, if I shift to a larger foot size, it goes down an octave. It makes a deeper sound because a larger pipe organ would do that. The wave adjustment is continuously variable, so you don't have to just pick like triangle wave, sawtooth wave. You can actually modulate from somewhere in between them and create these wave shapes that are kind of something in between a sawtooth wave and a triangle wave. The continuous variability of it allows you to really create some cool possibilities. Now, I've got Oscillator 2 here, so I'll enable it first by turning it on in the mixer. You'll hear that second oscillator kick in a little more as I adjust the octave of it. So now I have it an octave higher than the previous one. So now I can make a couple of adjustments between those two oscillators. The first thing I could do is I could enable duo mode. Doing that will make it so that I can actually use two oscillators on two separate notes. Uh-oh, sounds like I'm hearing only one oscillator move while the other one remains static. So it sounds like to me, Oscillator 2 is locked on the note C. In order to get it to go and use keyboard tracking, I'll have to turn on keyboard control. And with that, I have a choice of either low or high, meaning that the second note that I play is either going to be Oscillator 2 if it's higher or lower. So as I play a note, right now I'm playing single notes, I'll hear both oscillators. But if I hit a note and hold it, play a second note, you can now clearly hear the two oscillators independent of each other. Let's move the octave of Oscillator 1 down more. So in this case, we hear Oscillator 2 is moving around because it's a lower note. If I hit and hold and play a lower note than the note I'm holding, you hear the 2-octave higher oscillator moving around. Now if I switch it to higher, if I move the lower note around this time, that's clearly Oscillator 1 that's moving around down there, while Oscillator 2 is static. And the reason Oscillator 2 is static is because I have it set to high. I need to move the higher note in order for Oscillator 2 to be the one that's moving. To exit duo mode, just tap it again, and now I've got both oscillators responding to each note. Down here at the bottom, I can adjust the frequency of Oscillator 2. So if I want some fifths, I'll put it back in the middle there with no frequency adjustment. You can use that combined with the keyboard control to give you some cool drone effects. The beat frequency will adjust the sort of a detuning effect, basically allowing you about 3.5 hertz of manipulation of that second oscillator. That's going to come into effect big time when you're trying to create some really thick leads.